elearn shell, the content, and the seed file is the one that we're going to look at. So we're going to open up the seed file, and this is what, there's nothing in here in the seed file. And if you say, well, how do I know if I'm in the seed file? Well, you look up here at the top, and there it is, seed.dwg. We're not going to do anything here. We're just going to show you the lay of the land, how things are set up. Now the first thing is this, the command line is down here, and what I'm going to do is take this command line and bring it, see those little dots there, those little bumps. You grab it and you can drag it up. I like to put it up at the top here so you can see it, because your eyeballs are up here at this ribbon, and then you got to keep looking down here and then up, and sometimes you don't see it down here. So I put it here. And the main ribbon that you need to go to is the home. Over here to the far left is the home ribbon. And it has your drawing, you're drawing lines, drawing circles. Then you have your modify, such as erase, offset, trim, etc. Everything's pretty much set up in the seed file for you to use. You don't have to set up any layers, because that's done for you. You don't have to set up any dimensioning properties, because that's done for you. This course is geared more for the drawing and the mechanical drafting of it versus the software manipulation. If you wanted to go more in depth in that, you know, when you come to the jig and fixture design, which is CAM 2114, we do get into that. Or you could take a course in the ETD department, and I'm sure they go from ground zero. Since we're manufacturing students, we're trying to just keep it simple, so you learn how to draw, make mechanical drawings in AutoCAD. Okay, the first thing is being able to draw lines, and just come over here, and there's two buttons on your mouse, the left mouse button and a right mouse button, and you also have a little roller ball in the middle. You should have a roller ball in the middle. But to click something, you use the left mouse button. So I click on the line, and notice that the command prompt, it says line, specify first point. So I can go ahead and click with my left mouse button a point, and I can drag to another point and create a line, and I can drag, and I can drag, and I can drag, and drag, and drag, and drag. And when I'm done, I can hit the right mouse button and hit cancel or enter, and then I'm out of the command. I'll do it again. So you go to the line command, click it, you pick a point, and you can just click, 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 and then when you're done, you can either hit the enter key that gets you out, or right mouse click and hit enter. If you get confused and things don't, hit the escape key, and it takes you back. If you look up here on your screen, the escape key means cancel, and it does cancel you out. Now I mentioned that roller ball in the middle of your mouse. The roller ball, if I roll it towards me or in, you can zoom in and out. All right, so sometimes you're zoomed in too far and you can't see the information around, so you roller ball back. If you hold the roller ball down, you can see the little hand pop up. That's the pan, so you can pan it to the right or to the left, up or down. So there's your zoom functions. I really don't get into the zoom functions here on the pull downs. I just use the mouse as the zoom. Alright, so roller ball in, back, or hold the roller ball down and you can pan left and right. The other thing you're going to be doing a lot is probably erasing. So if you look up here at the icon, it has a little eraser. So if you click on it, it means it says erase. So it says select objects. Well, you can simply, you have a little pick box. You see that little square box? You can go ahead and click with your left mouse button and click it, and notice the object is highlighted. And it does say that one object is found. And you can click on another object, and another object, and another object. And when you're done, you just simply hit enter, and they go away. You've erased it. If you didn't want to erase it, there's a command called undo. So come up here, hit the little arrow back, and you can undo. the Control Z does the same function, Control Z. If you want to save, all right, which I recommend saving often. In this drawing here, we're not saving anything. We're just kind of showing you the lay of the land. But if you want to save, just hit Control S, and that will save. I do that every time I do something I don't want to lose. I just simply hit Control S. So let me show you another way to erase or to select objects. So I'll just go to the erase function again, and I'll click this and I'll click that. But let's say I want to sweep or put a window box. Well, if you start from the right and hold, just click and then drag your mouse, notice it's a dotted green box if I go to the left. If I go to the right, it becomes a solid blue box. There's a difference between those. The solid blue box is a window box, so the entity has to be within the window to be selected. If I go the other way to the left, the green dotted box is a crossing box. So all I have to do is cross the entity. Notice the entity is not selected. I just barely cross it. It's selected. All right, so that is the crossing box. So I can select it like this. I could sweep. I call that sweeping. You can sweep it. See it? Select that one. Now watch if I go the other direction, get the blue solid box. See, it's not picking up anything. The reason why is because the entity has to be within the box window to be selected. See, it's not within the window. It's now within the window, and it is selected. So those are the two other options for selecting. I simply use the sweeping box to the left, so it's a crossing, and you could just sweep the whole thing if you want and hit enter, and the whole thing is erased. And notice it tells you up here on your command prompt that 13 lines total were selected, so you can use that to your advantage. Alright, so drawing lines, we looked at erasing. What about drawing circles? Well, if you hit that little triangle underneath, a little arrow underneath, it brings up a lot of different circles to draw. Normally I use center and diameter. Sometimes you may use a radius depending on the print, but most of the time I use center and diameter. So I go ahead and click that, and then it says specify center point of circle, so I can just pick a point and I can drag. I could type in, let's say, 1. Alright, I'm continuing on where we left off. I drew some circles. Let me draw some more circles here. Don't worry about the diameter. Alright, and then if you want to erase them, do the same type of thing. Just hit the erase, select object, so you can select them this way, enter, and they go away. I want to point you to the F3 and F8. F8 being the ortho mode. So if I draw a line and I click, notice my line is not horizontal. It's at some angle that, but if I want it horizontal, I have to use the F8. I can simply go to the F key and hit F8. And do it again, F8. There we go. So now it's horizontal. It's almost like an Etch-a-Sketch. And I hit F8 and it goes off. The other, in version 15, the ortho command is here. Alright. In version 14, all these icons are on the other side over here, and that's what you'll, some of the demo with the CAD has them on the left side of the screen. In version 15, they're over here. Same commands, it's just they're on the other side. So that's really the only difference between the two versions. You're going to be using version 15. Again, some of the videos are version 14. Alright. I'm going to show you what object snap is. So that was F8 ortho. F3 is object snap. So if I draw a line, and notice how the line snaps to the center. Alright, it snaps, or it snaps to that end point. If that's not on, and here's my, if it's blue, it's turned on. If it's not, it's turned. If it's white or gray, it's turned off. And we can do the same thing with the F3. So if I draw a line, hit F3, F3, they go on and off, but there it's off. See, I can't pick up that endpoint. I'll zoom in on, I can't pick it up. So if I turn F3 on, let me get it on here, F3. See, now it picks it up, doesn't it? So that's the object snap. Let me zoom back, pan here. So if I draw a line from here, I can go to the center here, to the endpoint here, to the endpoint. I can go to the looks like to the center here. There's a bunch of these different object snaps to look at. Here they all are. Endpoint. Note if they're checked, it means they're on. If I want midpoint, I could click that on, and then see it would snap to the midpoint, and to the midpoint. If I wanted, tangent, I wouldn't turn them all on because then your line's snapping everywhere. So just turn on the ones that you think that you're going to need. You can turn them on and them off as you want. Node probably doesn't need to be on. Intersection is a common one. Endpoint, midpoint, center, those are probably the most common. So those are object snap mode, so you lock into a specific point wherever you want to go. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this. One last thing I want to show you is the color of the background. That'll be pretty much it. If you want to change, see I have a nice light gray screen with magenta colored crosshair. If you want to change that, you have to go to Output. Alright, so follow this closely. Go to Output. See the plot here, that little arrow, you want to click that arrow. If it opens up, there we go. And I would hit Display, the Display tab, and if you hit your colors, come down here to Colors. Okay, my color right now is right here. If you want a different color, if you want black or white, I can come in here and select color, and I can drag this little slider bar to whatever color I want my background to be. So I want mine kind of just a light gray. Alright. And if you want different crosshair color, you hit crosshair, and you can have, see mine is magenta. Alright, so you can have different crosshair colors. I mean, there's a lot of things you could change here, but I'm just trying to give you the basic ones. Make sure you hit apply and close. And my crosshair size, I can change that. That's another one that people sometimes, I think out of the box it's pretty small, maybe at 5% of your screen. So it's just a little plus. I like mine the full screen, 100%, because then it becomes like a T-square. So I leave my crosshair size at 100%. So once you're done with this, you can hit OK, and they'll make changes here. And that should be the change. If you make that change in your seed file, then it'll be that way every time you make a drawing. I'm going to go back to the Home tab, and so we're good to go with this drawing and the lay of the land. So we'll begin CAD number 1 next.